This is the practice test for decimal numbers, and here we're working on problems 8 and 9. And in problem 8, we're asked to multiply 21 5/10 times 25 hundredths. And we want to set the problem up vertically as I've shown it here. When we're multiplying two decimal numbers, we ignore the decimal points in the beginning of the problem, and then we'll put the decimal point back in at the end. So at this point, we just ignore the decimal point, and we're going to treat these two numbers as if they were just whole numbers, and we are going to multiply them in the same way. We're going to take the 5, the bottom number, the digit on the far right. 5 times 5 gives me 25, and I put the 5 here, and I carry the 2 over the place value to the left. And then I multiply again. 5 times the 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. And then I'm going to multiply the 5 times the 2, and I have 10. And now after I'm done multiplying this far right digit times all of the digits on the top number, I go to the next digit to the left, which is the 2. Now, because I've moved in one place value here, I need to move in one place value down here when I start to multiply. So I have filled in this place value right here with a 0. And then 2 times the 5 gives me a 10. I put the 0 down and I carry the 1. And then 2 times 1 is 2, plus the 1 is 3. And then 2 times 2 is 4. And now I have both of my what they're called partial products down here. I want to make sure that my numbers are lined up one under the other. And now I add. And here in this column I have 5, then I have 7, 3, and 5. Now at this point I go back up and I look at how many place values I have in the decimal side of each number. And here I have one decimal place, so I have put a 1 here, and here I have 2 decimal places here. I add those two together and I have 3. And then what I do is I go back down to this number and I start on the far right and I count 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, and that's where I put my decimal place, my decimal point. And that's our answer for number 8. Now when we come to number 9, we notice that we are taking a decimal number and we're multiplying by a factor of 10. We're multiplying by 100. And whenever we're multiplying by any factor of 10, we're going to move the decimal point to the right, the number of zeros that we have in our factor of 10. So here we have 2 zeros, so we're going to take that decimal point and we're going to move it 2 places to the right. Move the decimal point to the right, the number of zeros in the factor of 10. So 25 5/10 times 100, we move that decimal point 2 places to the right, and we end up with 2,550.